Good morning, traders. Welcome to the live trading room. I hope you are all doing well. Let's get right into it. We're going to start with the US dollar pairs. Let's have a look here. Let's start with the Euro US dollar. It has dropped. We did not get the reversal that we're looking for over that whole structure. And it looks like that structure is going to be invalidated. Even if it does turn up at this point, that will not be a decent corrective structure. So let's have a look here. We did say the invalidation level is about 122, but even with the look on this one, we can see that this is quite extended compared to this. So there's a move to the downside there. So we're not going to be looking at that structure, and we're going to be updating that. Let's have a look here. I'm going to put up the blue box and the invalidation area to show that. So this is not going to get a reversal. So this is the invalidation level at 1205, but at this point we can already invalidate this, because even if you do find a reaction at this point, for this to go all the way up and push to the upside, it's going to take a lot of volumes. So with this, we're going to be readjusting the structure and updating the structure. Let's have a look at this. That is at the same time, we are at 50% of the whole move, of this whole move here. Let's just get these volumes. We are at 50% of this whole move. But even with that, that is at 1,618 right now. We are at 1,618. Even if you do get a reaction higher, that reaction will make a continuation pattern. So like that. So, or we could be looking for this one to be making an impulsive move to the downside. And we're going to decide what structure it's going to give us. At this point here, we're not getting that reversal on the Euro US dollar. And the DXY accordingly has also done the same thing, currently at 50%. With this move that we are going to invalidate here, let's have a look here. In that move, we are 50%, and if we're getting a reaction to the downside, it's going to be a pullback. So let's put up the blue box that we were projecting there. So this has also gone above the blue box and very close to the invalidation level, which is now here. That is the invalidation at 96.44. You can see that we just 44 points, just 0.44 points to that invalidation level. So we're going to invalidate that structure on both the euro and the DXY. Having a look at the euro, the pound US dollar. So pound US dollar, we're looking at it for a reaction at current levels. Let's have a look at that chart that we showed yesterday. Guys, my apologies. We are going to have a bit of a delay with the London charts update. Sandile is tied up at this point, and the other technical trader is not available because it was actually short notice. So we will have a slight delay on the London updates, but they will definitely be updated as soon as possible. So just be a little bit patient. We are looking into that. So looking at that, let's have a look at pound US dollar. So pound US dollar, we're looking for a pullback at current levels. Let's have a look at that chart. Look. Okay. There's a direct message here. You can use my screen and use my TradingView account if you want, but I don't know how I can give you the control now. It's fine. We're sorted. Thank you so much, Aziz. I appreciate it. Right. So let's look at pound US dollar. So pound US dollar, we are looking at this move here. For this to react with 3 waves here on the 1 hour. So that will be for a continuation to the downside. We are getting a bit of a move to the upside. Let's go have a look at that move. Okay, so let's look at that in the 1 hour. So this, as you can see, it's going up pretty correctively. This is a three-wave move to the upside. This is another three waves. So there's a likelihood that we get another three waves to the upside here. So we've got this one here as a flat here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We could possibly get another 1, 2. We're currently here, so we could be getting the last one to the upside to get that three-wave structure here and pound US dollar for a continuation to the downside. That is how we're looking at pound US dollar. US dollar CAD. So we look here at US dollar CAD, we're looking for this one to move. It's interesting how US dollar CAD is dropping to the downside while the DXY is pushing up higher. That is obviously because of the CAD in it. So we're looking for the US dollar CAD to continue pushing lower like this. Okay, so we had this move here, we had a pullback here. We expect this to continue to the downside like this. That is US dollar CAD. Okay, let's have a look at this at the 4-hour. On the 4-hour, that is what we have here. We've got this move here, we've got a move to the upside here. Let's see what happens here. So on the 4-hour, you can see that this may consolidate here. And if we consolidate here, we can come and take the top, come back down, and make a continuation to the upside like that. Let's watch that and see how that plays out. US dollar chief. Okay, so US dollar chief, let's have a look at this structure. So the structure on US dollar chief may have changed like this. So let's have a look at this. If you look at this, there is a running flat here on US dollar chief that is playing out like this. So we could be getting the US dollar chief to come back around 94, 95 to retest this top. And the bigger structure that we'll be looking at here will be this one. So the move to the downside that we're looking for this structure. As you can see from here, that changed, and we'll be looking now for this to give us at least a move to around these levels, around these levels. Okay, so then we'll get this structure here. Okay, that is what we have on US dollar chief. A bit of a continuation to the upside here. Audi US dollar is playing out this corrective structure. So we're playing out this corrective structure on Audi US dollar. So we have got this move here. Any pullback here will be a continuation to the downside on Audi US dollar. We'll be watching out for that pullback. It has to be a decent 4-hour pullback. Then it's going to be a trade setup. Any 1-hour setup, we don't want to take. This is too small, this is too small. We want something this deep. We want something this size to take the trades. So that is what we're looking at on Audi US dollar, New Zealand US dollar. Same, playing out this bigger corrective structure here. After the move here in 3, this has made this move here in 3. So that is the move that is currently playing out. We're looking for this to pull back here and continue to the upside. We never got that confirmation, never closed above the flag. That's why we've got the move to the downside. Any pullback here, the 4-hour move, we're looking for this one to continue pushing to the downside. So we still have quite a bit of a move to the downside here. All right, that is what we have on the US dollar pairs. US dollar ZAR back on the uptrend again. We wanted to see that this one just take the top here. But it looks like we're pushing up higher here with a diagonal. Okay, this diagonal here. So let's watch out for this diagonal here. We'll be watching out for this here. We'll look out for this here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could get a pullback here on US dollar ZAR. So that let's do it properly here. That diagonal. So the diagonal on the US dollar ZAR will be something like this. It is pushing up higher like this. So that is a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So then we'll expect this one to give us a 3-wave pullback for the diagonal to continue pushing to the upside. So we'll be looking for this one to be 1, 2. And then we go for upside. Internally here, we'll have this one as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This will be the lower degree. Lower degree of US dollar ZAR. Look for continuation to the upside here. Okay, so that is US dollar ZAR, pound yen. Right, pound yen. Getting the pullback that we expected after the 3-wave move. This looks like a running flat there. We've got the move up here. We're looking for this to push to the upside. Like we said yesterday, we are extending up higher. If this comes up like this correctively, we'll be selling this for the long term. Yes, we are pushing up higher at this stage, and we'll be looking for this one to do this. If it does do this, and we get a 3-wave structure, we will look to sell this, especially if there's stock on the other side. I don't have it on this. This is incognito window does not have my credentials on it. So if it plays out like this, we will be looking for this to continue pushing much lower. That is a pound US dollar. US dollar's yen continues to push to the upside. Okay, we're still expecting more upside even at current levels. So as we've discussed this one here, we've got this corrective structure that has already played out from the blue box. All of us had this blue box set up here. We are pushing up higher. We're looking for this one to continue to the upside. Okay, so yesterday we did a long-term view on the yen pairs. I was with you guys on the LTA. This is the view that we still hold on US dollar yen, just to show you that we are currently still expecting more upside on that. So let's get that one on the yen pairs. We will look at US dollar yen, and it's showing just why we're expecting more upside in US dollar yen. So US dollar yen, the 1 hour chart from London yesterday, expecting this to continue to push to the upside. But it's still expectation. But what is spotted is this daily chart here. Okay? So the daily chart is showing us this. There is an A here, and the whole thing here is a B, and we're looking for this one to be a C. So what is happening here is that we are looking at this one to be giving us these 5 waves in the red degree, 1, 2, 3. Where we are now is this red wave 3 that we're looking for, 4 and a 5. It could even be a diagonal, it can be a diagonal, it can be an impulse. Either way, we are looking for this wave 5 to complete that C in the yellow degree, to complete this bigger structure. So that's why we are bullish US dollar yen. All right, so let's continue with the rest. That is US dollar yen, euro yen. So euro yen, are we going to get a reaction here? The euro is showing weakness. We are looking for this to give us a reaction, as we've indicated, a reaction higher up in 3 waves. The same way we're expecting pound yen to give us a reaction higher, then we'll look for this to continue. Long-term downside, if it goes up in a straight line, this is too impulsive for this to just push from here and do this. That will be too much of a straight line, and that move will be too much of a straight line. So that's why we're expecting first to get a 3-wave move here. And that 3-wave move will mean that we still have long-term downside on the euro. Now, if you look at the daily structure on the euro, it is bearish. Why is that bearish? Because this is the structure that is currently playing out. Look at that structure, very clear. You cannot be expecting here now that this will react from here. This is the zigzag that we have here with these 3 waves here. So we've got that zigzag there, we've got this here, we've got this here. So the euro could have a blue box around this level. So let's watch euro get back to around 126 here, and that will be a decent flat corrective structure. If it's gonna play that corrective structure, then you're gonna still see one more up on the euro. Okay, so that is what we're looking at here. So what if that structure plays out? What does it mean for the long term? So for the long term, it means that look at that structure, very clear on the euro and the yen pairs. If that structure that I've just shown you, the flat correction or the zigzag here, plays out and we get one more up, that means we are simply playing out this corrective structure, this bigger corrective structure here, this bigger corrective structure you see there. So it is the view that we're looking at here, that will be a WXY corrective structure. So the euro is pretty much clear. We should in the short to medium term as well. So we're looking for this one here to continue lower here, and then we look for more upside. That is the euro and chief yen. So we look at chief yen. Chief yen, we're expecting downside, and this is the long-term view that we've shown. Let me show you on the weekly as well, and then I'll go down to the charts. So we've shown this one yesterday. Please watch the yen pair video on the LTA yesterday that we did. We're looking for this to get to around this level. Look at that structure. That has reached the extremes. So if chief yen is going to start a move to the downside, it is playing out this structure. It is playing out this structure. So let's see how far we go with this. If you get any entry here on chief yen, unfortunately, I don't have my indicators here. You can just verify on your charts with the stock and the RSI, but I'm sure what you will see on the indicators is that the stock is grouped at the top, the RSI is also at the top, but above 50, well above 50. So what we want is for this to start dropping below 50 on the daily so that we can start trading it to the downside. Okay, so that is what we're looking at here. Let me do this. We were So the euro, this is the expectation, guys. The euro is giving us this corrective structure. 1, 2, 3. So we were expecting the euro to do this. Did not happen. Instead, we're getting this move. Any pullback here will continue to sell the euro until it makes this structure. So once we've made that corrective structure here, there's a possibility that after that structure, we make one more move to the upside. What that move means to the upside is this, that we are going to be completing the bigger corrective structure here. 1, 2, and a 3. That's how we're going to be looking at the euro. Please refer to yesterday's video, LTA on the yen pairs, and how we're looking at this. So we could get the euro doing this and giving us one more up to complete this. Okay, as it is, this structure is incomplete. So let's see how this plays out when we get to this level. We may still get a move to the upside to complete this bigger corrective structure. Right. Now, Chief Yen, let's have a look at Chief Yen. Chief Yen. On the daily, let's go to the weekly chart on Chief Yen. So I want you to see this on Chief Yen. We discussed this yesterday, that we've got this structure that looks to be at the extremes. We are right here. We're looking at this to be a WXY corrective structure, and there's a possibility that this will play out these 3 waves and these 3 waves. How do we know that that's going to play out? You'll see that the stock and the RSI are all right at the top. They're all grouped at the top. Let's have a look at that. So that is the RSI and the stock. The RSI is above 50. We all know, according to our strategy, we don't sell until the RSI on the daily is below 50. This is on the weekly. RSI at the top, stock RSI at the top. But this grouping is showing us that this may be at the extreme. Look at this divergence here on the RSI. Look at this divergence. We've gone and made a new high. We've gone and made a new lower high here. So any corrective structure here on the 4-hour, we're going to look to take it, provided the daily RSI is below 50. The daily RSI is right at the 50 mark. It has to dip below this for us to confirm that. So we've got that one here, we've got that switch setting here. So we can still get this one doing this. It goes up correctively, then we sell it. Okay? As long as the RSI on the daily is below 50. That's how we're going to be looking at Chief Yen. Just keep an eye on that one. Right, and then we've got Audi Yen. We've been looking for Audi Yen to continue pushing to the upside as well. So we've got this one, 1, 2, 3, which we're even looking to be a 3-way structure, and that could possibly give us a drop here. But let's watch and see what we get here. If we get a 3-way pullback again here, we will also do the same thing. We will look to sell this one to the downside, because that will be playing out this structure, and we look for this one to be doing a WXY corrective structure. Let's see how this plays out. It's already too overextended to be an expanding flat. And let's see how this plays out. So far, we're going to get a move at least back to the 50%. If we do get that one here, and it gives us a setup for downside, we will look to take it. But look at the daily so far. We are at the bottom, so we will get the daily could get us only up to this level. So we'll be watching that. On the 4-hour, the lower degree, let's see here. In the lower degree, you are getting what looks like a bit of a move to the upside, but not convincing enough. It has to come back around this level. That will be a 3-wave structure here. That 3-wave structure, then we will sell if that gets to that level. That is Audi Yen, New Zealand Yen, the same, giving us a 3-wave structure on the 4-hour. We will be looking for this one to at least get back to this level. As long as the daily is above, still below 50, we will look to sell it. Only when the daily is below 50, we look for a sell setup. Let's see how that goes. So far, that reaction that we are looking for is playing out, but as you can see, it's already corrective. It looks pretty corrective. And if it's corrective, it's going to continue to the downside. Then we've got CAD Yen that is playing out that move here. We're going to get this one to do that as well. Give us a 3-way move to the upside, get out of that structure. Let's watch that. Gold is playing out the corrective structure. It is not a reversal. We've seen this structure yesterday. This is what we had on yesterday on gold. That is the structure. If you look at this here, it's a very clear 1, 2, 3-way structure. It can even push up from here and play out the running flat, or it can push slightly lower and give us an expanding flat. We are above 50, we have reset it. So gold is still bullish. We expect it to continue to the upside. Gold, or rather silver as well, is giving us a clear three-way structure. This is a clear three-way structure, 1, 2, 3. Look for silver to push up higher. We are at the bottom. We are above 50. We are at the bottom. So silver, we'll look for this one to continue to push to the upside. Very clear structure on silver. Brent crude oil. Okay, Brent crude oil has not taken off after the blue box. So this was the blue box area that we're looking at on Brent crude oil. Let's have a look at this now. So yesterday we discussed the structure on Brent crude oil and what we're expecting here. This is a three-wave move. This is a three-wave move. So Brent crude can do a structure like this. We can push slightly lower and then push to the upside. So look, don't be surprised if you see this one coming down to this level. That will be actually the blue box area for that move. Right, so that is Brent crude. Pound Audi. So Pound Audi, we saw it breaking out of this structure yesterday. Right, so the possibility on Pound Audi is that it is playing out this structure here. I'm going to take this one off here so you can see. So we just want to see Pound Audi get to around this level where there will be equal legs here. And we will see if it's going to consolidate from that level. But if you look at this, 4 hours, well above 50, well above 50. So you may see Pound here, Pound Audi continue to push up like this. But at this stage, we have reached the extreme, very close to the blue box. So it is not safe to be taking a trade at this level. So we'll be watching that as a corrective structure. So Pound New Zealand as well, and also making a three-wave move here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and we're looking for this one here. I'm going to get a move to the downside. That is a clear three-way structure within the blue box here. So we could be looking for Pound New Zealand here. Look at it here at the top. Although the RSI is above 50, we'll start looking for this one to start pushing lower. Right, so that is Pound New Zealand. Three-wave up here. Let's watch that three waves. Okay, Pound CAD also making what looks like a three-wave structure, but this could be overextended as follows. You can have this one doing this 1, 2, 3, then you can have this one doing this here. 1 in the whole red degree, it becomes this, and then we drop. So as you can see, CAD is still pretty much bearish. We are at the top here and can still come back down with that red degree there. So let's watch that red degree for the move down on Pound CAD, Pound Chief. Pound Chief, a three-wave pullback as well. An extended C here. Are we going to see a reversal there? Let's watch that level. Euro Pound. Euro Pound continues to push lower. I'm going to leave this one for now. We need to update the structure because we wanted to see this one push to the upside here. And it looks like it is now played out a running flat. So 1, 2, 3 here. We've got that as a running flat and it continues lower. Let's see here. That is the structure that we're looking at. We're going to update that. That is a Euro Pound, Euro Audi. Euro Audi also a reaction higher. So a reaction higher, which was is just a pullback. That is the three waves that we've got. We'll expect Pound Audi to also start to move to the downside. Okay, so that is what we have there on Euro Audi. Right, Euro New Zealand. Let's have a look at Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand is also consolidation here. 1, 2, 3. We're consolidating here again for more downside. Look at this, and this is happening on the daily. So that means a high probability of this one to drop. Let's look at this in the 4 hours as well. Do we have a setup on the 4 hour? The fact that this has pulled back here, this is a 4 hour setup for this. Not a big one as we would like, but after playing out this 1, 2, 3, expect Euro New Zealand to continue pushing lower. It has to break below this because there's also a possibility for this to do that, but I don't really see it. I expect this one to just continue lower, especially with this. Okay, so that's what we have there on my Euro New Zealand, Euro CAD, bearish. We've seen this yesterday. We've seen this continuation pattern yesterday, 1, 2, 3, and then the drop. Still bearish. The same with that pound cake is still bearish. We look for more downside. Okay. Euro chief. It's interesting that pound chief has pulled back in 3 with a strong move, and the Euro chief has not done. It's not given us a pullback. But we expect that Euro chief will give us that move. We can see that there's some divergence there. We can have a move here, but that even that move will still just be a continuation pattern for more downside. Audi New Zealand. Okay, so Audi New Zealand, look at how this one has pushed to the upside. This is a 3-wave pullback. Expect this one to continue lower. It has also broken lower than the structure, so we expect this one to continue lower here. Okay, we wanted to see this. We wanted to see this push up higher with a straight line. We know that this is the straight line that we were looking for, but as it is now, looks like we're still going to come and take this level here. If we take this level, that invalidates the move to the upside. Let's watch this in the meantime. Okay, that is Audi New Zealand. Next one on the process is Audi CAT. Let's have a look at Audi CAT. Something quickly. Right, Audi CAT. You can see that this moves to the downside up because of the weakness in the Audi. So we're going to see this do that. We're going to update the structure when it is all done here. So what we could have here is that we've got this move, we've got this flat, and we get this one here pushing lower. So let's see how far we get with this move around these levels. Audi chief, again, for the Audi to show some weakness. So we're still above 50 on this one. We have reset it, so we could see this one make 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last move to the upside here. New Zealand CAD. For hour is still pretty much bearish. As long as this is below 50, we are seeing this as a 3-wave pullback, but this is that doesn't look complete, so we can still expect this to continue lower. New Zealand chief. New Zealand chief has made what looks like a 3-wave structure here. 1, 2. Look here, the overall structure here. We had a setup on New Zealand chief here, expecting it to break out of this structure. It did. Now we've got another one here. We're still expecting this one to continue to push to the upside. Okay, so we want to see a reset here, and this one's staying above 50 for us to confirm another move to the upside. So far, we're not really getting any confirmation on that. And then we've got CAT chief. CAT chief, we're expecting this to play out this 3-wave corrective structure here. 1, 2, 3, and then the drop. Could this simply be the 3-wave pullback and then we see downside? We are currently at 50%. Let's just watch that for now. Don't do anything at this level. We're going to see if this is going to go to the downside. We're going to see by getting a move here, and then we look to trade like that. That is a CAT chief. The indices are back on. Continue to the upside. We're getting that wave 5. As you can see here on the S&P 500, looking for more upside. Dow Jones Industrial, also looking for more upside. You see here 1, 2, 3. This is even showing a fractal here in the lower degree. That means that is not even a wave 4, and the wave 4 will come around this level for more upside in the yellow degree. Nasdaq. Five waves, as you can see as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. More upside. So it's all impulsive, guys. Just impulse on the indices. UK 100 has been starting to slow down here. got some divergence, not very strong. But if you find the price making new highs in the RSI, it's not confirming any new high, even if it's flat, that is divergence as well. So we can get one more up and then downside. We should have a deeper corrective structure. That deeper corrective structure could even come here. But let's see what you get as a setup here. On the 4 hour, we're about to dip below 50 here. And let's see. We could even have this one as a setup. But that setup will just be the last move to the upside before we get a deeper correction here on the UK 100. DAX pushing up higher, extended wave 5, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, extended wave 5 there on the DAX. Nikkei continues to push up higher. We'll see this one push to the upside. Could be getting this one to start as a diagonal with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we get a pullback and then we'll see more upside. And lastly, on the indices is the Nifty. The Nifty expects this move here. We've got 3 waves down, we've got 3 waves up. You can see the Nifty coming back around this level. Then we'll see more upside. The last time we had a deeper correction on the Nifty was around these dates here. This was around July when we made this corrective structure, which we focus it for more upside. Then we go to the cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin. Let's watch what happens with Bitcoin when we get to this level. It looks like we've got a nice 3 waves there, and 3 waves around this level. Okay, could even break lower and then we push to the upside. Ethereum, the same. Ethereum, the move to the downside looks pretty much impulsive, so we could get this one doing that. We'll move to the upside. Litecoin as well. The pullback looks a bit deep. 1, 2, 3. Can we start getting a push to the upside here? All the indicators are good to the bottom, so we can start getting a move to the upside if we break out of this. Ripple. Now, Ripple is a bit tricky. Not necessarily tricky. The structures that we said may not happen are actually playing out. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is the expectation on Ripple. Then we'll look for this to go retest the all-time highs at about $2 that we've seen around September this year. Okay, so with that structure, with the WXY corrective structure, we'll look for Ripple to continue pushing to the upside. So we'll be looking for this to play out. We'll be looking for this bigger corrective structure to play out the ABCD. So Ripple pretty interesting. As much as we are bearish for now, we look for more upside. Dogecoin. Also could be playing out this structure here and looking for this to come down here and push to the upside. ADA. Three waves up, 3 waves down, rather 2 waves down and up, and 3 waves down. So we'll be looking to see what structure is currently forming here. So what we have here looks like this. This is another 3 waves here internally. We want to see if we're going to have a bounce here on ADA to complete that red structure. Okay, if we get a bounce here on the red structure, should be red. If you get a bounce here on the red structure, then the yellow can complete as follows before we push to the upside. Okay, Solana making a 3-wave pullback. Let's see what happens when this one moves into the blue box. Solana this is a very nice 3-wave pullback here compared to the rest of the structures. This is the clearest one, so you can look for this one to push to the upside. If you look at the indicators, they are all good at the bottom. Although this is below 50, we want it above 50, and we want to see Solana break out of this. If it breaks out, we're going to see new highs. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and for your patience. That's all I have for you this morning. Look out for LTA later on. There will be a session at 10 a.m. GMT. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.